In the tradition of Homer Simpson, I'm going to sit while I talk. Thank you, Vice Chancellor. Thank you, Beth, for that lovely intro, and especially thank you to all the grads for having me here and for being a fantastic, fantastic class. Now, grads, I have some questionable advice for you today from The Simpsons, but first let me say something sincerely from my heart, because this degree means so much to me, an incredible amount, even more than a degree I got way back in 1988 from California. And that's because I always wish that my university had a program like the one you're graduating from today. This program is massively impressive because it covers the full range of media and arts like no other university I've seen in the States, in the UK, anywhere. But it's also because your program is it's incredibly innovative, combined with being practical. You only need to point to the industry collaborative zones to see something that's a brilliant innovation that hopefully will help everyone. But this degree also means so much to me because I've actually learned a lot working in Salford and Manchester, whether it's with the university, with the BBC, or in a soundstage in Altrincham. And part of that is because of the spirit of this place, on this ground that we sit on today, but it's because of the people. It's the Manchester spirit, it's the Salford spirit, and it's one of the reasons I feel so at home here, and eventually I plan to move here. And that's because the Salford spirit is remarkably similar to the spirit in which we make The Simpsons. It's wickedly independent and insanely creative. With one hand, you may thumb your nose at society, but with the other hand, you give the gift of creative and original culture. And that is in part because of a collaborative spirit that is part of the university for so long and even longer in Manchester's history. And I don't need to tell you the creative history that has come from this place. Besides, you are going to go out and create your own. You'll follow in this great tradition and take what you've learned in Salford and give it to the world. But before you do that, I have 8 pieces of career advice from The Simpsons that are either very good or very, very bad. You can decide. Number 8, this is a Homer Simpson line. It takes 2 to lie, 1 to lie, 1 to listen. Now, you're gonna run into people in show business who lie. It just happens. It happens in every business, but I encourage you to be the one who tells the truth. Whether it's your opinion or dealing with other people, always deal with them with polite honesty. It cuts through everything. Disarm people of your kind honesty and get to the truth. It will save everyone so much time and trouble, and I firmly believe that you cannot be creative without being honest to other people and especially to yourself. Now, line number 7, I wanted a line about failure just because it happens in show business. And there are so many lines in The Simpsons about failing and failure and giving up that it's hilarious. And that's in part because so many of us on the writing staff experienced multiple ups and downs in our careers long before coming to The Simpsons. So it's hard to choose the best line about failure. I've narrowed it down to 3. The first is a Homer line. Kids, you tried your best and you failed miserably. The lesson is, never try. The second, so many of these are from Homer. The second line, trying is the first step towards failure. Then finally, one of my favorite lines from Ned Flanders' Beatnik Parents is, we've tried nothing and we're all out of ideas. But in true Simpsons fashion, I failed to pick any of those because I wanted to go with something inspirational, and of course it was Homer's line, stupid risks make life worth living. And this is so true. Do it. Aim for the sky, and if you fail, I know other people have said this, but it's so true, fail awesomely. You may be the only person on earth who thinks your idea is brilliant, but that's just because the right people haven't seen or heard it yet. When we started on The Simpsons in its earliest years, yes, some people loved the show, but most of the adult world, people over 30, 35, thought it was just a silly kids show and discounted it and dismissed it. But we on the show loved it. We loved what we were doing. We knew it was great. So I tell you, don't care what other people think. Don't go by anyone's standards of success but your own. And guess what? The world will catch up to you. Number 6, here's an inspirational quote from when Lisa developed a crush on her substitute teacher, Mr. Bergstrom. The line is, "You are Lisa Simpson." Now, honestly, I've never really understood what this line means. I've asked a number of really smart people over time, and they can't really tell me what it means. It's been 25 years. I don't know what this line means. Why I'm quoting it to you is to tell you, don't be afraid to admit you're ignorant. Ask questions. Never be afraid to ask questions. That's perhaps the most valuable lesson I've learned in 25 years of working in this business. Now, I don't know what that line means at all, so let's move on to number 5. This is a line, of course, from Homer. It's a 3-part line. Homer says, I want to share something with you, the 3 little sentences that will get you through life. Number 1, cover for me. Number 2, oh, good idea, boss. Number 3, it was like that when I got here. Now, this is seriously good advice because everyone who's lucky enough to pursue a field they're interested in is going to have a crummy first job. But I encourage you to stick with it and use Homer's advice because you're lucky. In the arts and media, you're going into fields where everything is experience, everything is creative fodder. Nothing you do right out of university is a mistake. And if you have a crummy first boss, just think to yourself, you're going into my next show. Number 4 is a line from the great Troy McClure. If a cow ever got the chance, he'd eat you and everyone you care about. This is just good advice. I'm not going to make a joke about that. Number 3, Homer says, what's the point of going out? We're just going to wind up back here anyway. I encourage you, go out in the world. You're young, see what it's like to work and live in a place like London or New York or Los Angeles or anywhere. But eventually you might find, like I did, places like LA can be soul-crushing, whereas places like Manchester are soul-expanding. So go out, taste the world, but if you feel the pull of this wonderful place, please come back. There's no better place in the world for creativity, and guess what? The world will come to you. Number 2 is from Grandpa Simpson. I used to be with it, but then they changed what it was. Now what I'm with isn't it, and what's it seems weird and scary to me. Now, I was 29 when I helped come up with this line. Now I'm 50, so I can tell you from Grandpa Simpson's experience, enjoy your 20s, your young years, be adventurous and go wild. Form memories so you can be like me, desperately holding on to those precious memories of when I used to be with it, because now I'm lucky if I can find half an hour each week in which to get funky. But seriously, the bonds you form now will keep you young later on. I'm still working with people I became friends with when we were 19 and 20, and I can't tell you enough how wonderful that is. Now, lastly, number 1, it's always rated the most popular Simpsons line, and so I'm going to say it too, is to alcohol, the cause of and solution to all life's problems. But what this means to me really is become friends with the people you collaborate with. Collaborate with your friends. Drink together. If you don't drink, have fun together. Because there's an arbitrary rule that society has developed for some reason that work can't be fun. I say, think of what you find most fun in life and make that your work. And as the guy in the gay steel mill says, we work hard, we play hard, and follow that advice. And today, this line also has special meaning because you have achieved so much. So go out and celebrate today. You deserve it. You've achieved something remarkable. So this is to you. Thank you.